Record. Hi guys. So welcome to our Sunday call. It is Sunday, November 4th. So we are officially in the last 2 weeks of this challenge. And I couldn't be more excited about it because while our call might be a little bit quiet tonight, the page is on fire and there's so many people that are playing full out. So I really just want to acknowledge everybody that's playing full out. So if you're on here live right now and you're one of those people, or if you're watching the recording, I just really want you to take a moment and just be proud of yourself, acknowledge everything great that you've done every day, and just really just take that moment to say, I got this, right? Because that's the big thing is we do not acknowledge ourselves enough. And that's often how we'll lose momentum. Because instead of taking a moment to really appreciate all the good things we do on a consistent basis, we're ticking through our brain of all the things we didn't do. Has anyone felt like that? Where it's no matter how effective and how efficient and how much you got done today, you still go to bed being ugh, on yourself. And so that's where it's getting into this part of the challenge. You guys have done so much incredible things, so many incredible things. And I just really want to acknowledge all of you guys and play full out, finish it. We got 2 weeks left. And I know this is where, in all honesty, this is where the leaders really pull ahead, right? Because in that last 2 weeks, it's I'm going to finish strong. I'm going to give it more, right? It's you see that finish line and either you can be oh, okay, we're almost there. I can walk the rest of it. Or you see that finisher line and it empowers you to sprint, right? If anyone ever has done, if you've done a 5K or anything like that, I know for me personally, I'll be I got my pace, right? You got your pace. I got this. I got my pace. But when I see that finish line or when I know it's the house is around the corner, this is the last little bit, I personally, when I run, sprint. Full out. It's ridiculous. Anyone that's ever seen me in Morinville, I sprint past Primo School. Like a bat out of hell. I honestly do, right? Because I put out that last song will hit, the beat will drop, and I give it everything I got to that fire hydrant. And then I know when I hit that fire hydrant, I get to walk and cool down the rest of the way to my house. And it's realistically, you guys, that is where that 1%, that is where those leaders really take off. Instead of being oh yeah, we're almost there, I can totally slow up. Because I can see the finish line, so I don't have to push as hard anymore because it's right there, so I'm going to get there. Or you pour it on, right? So I just really want to acknowledge every single one of you guys for running your race, for taking your journey. It's super, super awesome. What I do want to talk about today is sometimes those things that happen to our routine and then they leave us feeling like a fish out of water. So I'm going to share with you guys because my last week, honestly, that was such a big thing for me. My routine the last couple months has been big time off. My husband has left and is out of town now for the first time in 3 years. So it's been a big change, right? A really big change in our life. And I'm just cooking for me again, just cooking for me. So Matt used to do my meal prep every Sunday. We would tackle it together and we'd make all of this stuff and it would all be done and separated out. And now it's just for me. And when they come over, in all honesty, when Matt comes home for a weekend, often there's so many leftovers that I don't even need to cook because there's that many leftovers from when the family comes. And so I'm grateful that they choose to make healthy decisions, that what they leave me left over in the fridge is food I want to eat. But for example, Thanksgiving, everyone was oh, we don't want to take your guys' food. And I'm Matt legit gets on a plane tomorrow. It's just me. So I don't need all of this food. And there was enough food that was left here that it carried me through that week and halfway through the next. But here's the catcher, you guys. Halfway through the next, I had no food. Halfway through the next, I hadn't done my meal prep. Halfway through the next, I was going into an LDW weekend where I wasn't going to be home the whole time. And now I legit had, you can ask my son, he opened the fridge. He's there's no food in here. What am I supposed to eat? I'm oh, we can make some egg whites and I could make you some oats. And he was you want me to eat what? And so that has been a big thing for me. So I'm a big habit of routine. I'm a big person of structure, that I do like that. And when things are all in their place, things flow really well. But when one little block, like Jenga, gets pulled out, everything gets unstable, right? You know that game, when you play Jenga and that one piece comes out and the whole thing sits there and rocks for a little bit. And then it's got to balance itself back out. It's got to re-weight itself. That happens in life sometimes. It totally happens in life sometimes. And the best thing you can do is say, okay, right? I want to step into it. I don't want to back away from my goals. This is a lot of the time, and this is where I get to look back and reflect now. This is a lot of the time where I'll start to feel overwhelmed. This is a lot of the time where exhaustion will creep in beyond belief and I start to doubt myself. This is a lot of the time where I wonder if maybe it's not for me. Maybe I can't do this. Everyone else can succeed, but not me, right? Because our routine is out. And instead of just going, okay, and still loving ourselves, knowing that, you know what, I did have a busy weekend. And you know what, the guy that cooks me dinner usually isn't here. So I have to figure it out. Instead of just acknowledging that things have changed and embracing the change, we start to doubt ourselves. Does anyone ever feel like that happens to them? Something changes, a routine changes. Heck, maybe the food you used to buy, like I'll share with you guys. So they used to have this pulled pork. I think it's disgusting, but it was his favorite thing in the world. They used to have this canned pulled pork at Costco. And it was in the same aisle with the canned chicken and the canned tuna. And my husband is a creature of habit. Well, that canned pork, they took it off the shelf. Do you know every day when he goes to Costco, he still looks for it? He still looks for it. Because in his mind, he's like, what am I going to eat? It's not here. What am I going to eat? I don't, like, that's what I have for lunch. That's like, what am I going to do? And it like rocked everything until he was like finally comfortable adjusting to tuna, right? Sometimes those simple little things, like where something was on a shelf, throws your whole mindset. And we start doubting ourselves. We start trying to figure out why. We start questioning if we're capable of doing this. When in reality, stuff just changed. Things changed. And that is okay. That's completely okay. You get back up, you give it everything you got again tomorrow, and you let it change. So here's some things that I've done, and I'm just going to share my story with you guys, hoping that maybe you can get something from that. Hate when stores, yeah, I know, everyone hates change, right? It's like, but it's like, that's my favorite hoodie. What do you mean it's got a hole in it and I can't snuggle all day? Yes, it totally happens, right? But the best thing we can do is actually understand that change is always going to happen. Change is always going to happen. And as soon as we can embrace that change is a part of our everyday life, we're going to find so much more fulfillment because we're still going to be doing what we want to do that fills us. So for me, the only thing constant is change. Heather, that's completely true. Here's some things I did. So I've started packing my nights before because I've realized that now that it is just me and you know what I mean, I want to make sure that Taylor's got her best lunch and these things. So while I do have my mom here to help, as a parent and as a mom, I still want to feel involved in that way. And so this last week, I've started packing the night before. My lunch is actually already, even though it's just one container and an apple, it's already in the fridge ready to go because I've set my mind up that I'm taking care of me, that I took time for me, right? Change is there and things have changed and I'm not home all the time. I've got a very busy schedule between here and there. So I put it in a plastic bag so that I already know I can grab it and go. I've started preloading my car. So I take time tonight to make sure that everything that I need tomorrow is in the car. Because in the change, I have found myself sometimes, like I'll get to the club. Last week I got to the club and had forgotten to put the ice. I needed ice in the car because I was pulling out of the freezer at home and I had to call my mom and bless my mom that I had that backup. But if I don't start acknowledging that I have to adjust my routine, I'm going to continue falling into those hiccups. I'm going to continue falling into those little potholes instead of learning to drive around them. And that is something that you guys, for me, so like even this last week with, I got with LDW and a full busy weekend and like LDWs, you guys are incredible. Incredible. But it's the brain. Like that brain, it goes for like 72 hours straight. And like Monday, you were so fired up about life and at the same time in such a fog that it's like, I felt like I had to sleep for 3 days to get caught up. Right? So then that was change again. I didn't get my restful weekend that I liked at my sleep-in day. My sleep-in days are 7 a.m. and I look forward to them on Saturdays. But I didn't get it this time. So then, of course, that flooded into the week. And I just tried to power through just continually instead of adjusting, right? It's not about perfect. It's not about being stuck to something. It's about adjusting. Because adjustments are always going to need to happen in a lifestyle. when it is a lifestyle, that's going to happen. There's going to be a day that maybe you forgot your snack and you're going to find yourself in a convenience store. Do you know how to deal with it? Do you know how to adjust for that circumstance? Or are you going to have an absolute panic attack because you don't have your turkey pepperoni and the only thing they have here is like these ugly, disgusting bananas, and I'm just going to eat a chocolate bar because the world sucks today? Right? None of us have ever been there, right? We've never gone through that. So it's being able to embrace that those things are going to happen and set yourself up with the knowledge to prepare yourself for how to deal with it, to prepare yourself how to make it through, right? Because in all honesty, that happened to me last week. I was out doing errands and I knew I should have eaten before I left, and I didn't eat before I left. And I was so ready to just go and get something that was going to deal with my mindset, right? No, I stopped at Shoppers Drug Mart and I grabbed a bag of almonds, right? I went to a convenience store that I knew would have a little bit more options. Were the almonds right beside the chocolate covered almonds? Absolutely. But just the fact that I made a choice to go to Shoppers Drug Mart versus McDonald's, I already gave myself willpower. I already, pulling it, just in the act of which parking lot you pull into, you will already give yourself willpower to make the best decision, right? Get the bottle of water. As soon as you do anyway, just get the bottle of water. Don't go and get a coffee or a pop or anything like this, especially if you know you're behind your snacks. Get the bottle of water. Empower yourself. That's right, I'm drinking water. Those simple little things that you can learn to adjust with on a daily basis, they line up to mountains, you guys. Mountains of beautiful, beautiful pillars of success. So super fired up for where we're going. Sprint, you guys. This is where we get down and dirty. This is where the sprint, this is pull all out the next 2 weeks. Finish so powerfully as we run into the holidays. We are going to be doing another little 14-day Slim Waist Challenge here in a couple weeks as well, just to kind of give you guys that momentum to continue going through. Fiber. But we want to make sure that you guys are all still supported, right? And that you are learning those lifestyle things. So this week, if there's something that changes for you and you're like, this really normally would have rocked me, right? If something that happens this week normally would have I would have just quit today, but I decided to do this instead, I want to encourage you to share it in the group. Share how you are finding new lifestyle habits, right? Not perfection, just what are things that you've done that you're now adjusting that you're finding success in. So thank you guys. Thank you for jumping on. It's great to see you. Hi. Do you guys want to come off mute and have any shares for the week? Or anything that resonated with you as I was being realistic and authentic?
I will, because I just shared something like that today, where yesterday I went to the gym for the first time since June. And I wanted to go and do a circuit, and then I realized that that's very intense to go back to from not doing high intensity stuff. So then I just got on the spin bike and I did the spin bike, and then I didn't go and push myself beyond where I knew I could be. So that was a win. I just redefined what winning my workout was.
I saw your post. It was beautiful. If you guys haven't seen that post, it's just fantastic. Heather, if you want to share it, maybe on the Fit Champs page, if you can just share it in there so everyone can see it. It was gorgeous. I loved how she redefined what winning was, right? She redefined what winning was. Don't put ridiculous standards on yourself. It's not. Empower yourself. And that post was so beautiful, Heather. So thank you. And thank you for taking that on, and just being a person that's willing to grow into that and see that growth. So congratulations. I love it. Love it. Anyone else want to share? All good. All good. I'm loving this challenge, you guys. I'm super excited for where we're all going, what we're doing. We're really fit champions, right? So the thing with you guys is fit in our client group. It's not about fitness. It was about being the right fit. So if you guys want to know what the Fit Champion stands for, it's you guys are all the right fit to be champions. We want to empower you to have the tools to fit into that mindset and to fit into those goals and to fit into those success patterns. So the Fit and Fit Champions is not about fitness. It's actually about the right fit. It's being in the right place at the right time with the right group of people to fit a healthy lifestyle. So I'm excited to do this with all of you guys, and I know we're on track for such great, beautiful things. So let's finish this out. We have one more call next week, and on that call, we'll talk about how the challenge does finish out this, what submitting your photos and stuff looks like, and we'll go from there. So happy Sunday. Thanks for jumping on. You guys, if you're watching the recording, please post in the comments what you took away from this call.